All right, hey, welcome to Win the Day live stream where we talk about how to win the day as a real estate salesperson. Today, we're going to talk about pricing, and my analogy is we are going to try to sell gym memberships at an all-you-can-eat buffet. But, you know, it's vital. It's vital. It's vital. It's vital. I had an agent call me this morning. She's going on a listing appointment. And I had one that I met at a property yesterday at their listing appointment. Both of them are going to be lower than anywhere else and still overpriced. It's the way it is. Here, I'll walk you through it. One was on the market, expired, was on the market, expired, was on the market, and they pulled it down. All right. They just pulled it from the market. Okay. Now they're getting, excuse me, they want to hire us to sell it. So we go look at it. All right. It's nice. Wonderful property. And so my guy's asking, what should we do about price? You know, where's the price going to be? I'm like, well, let me ask you something. It was on the market at this price and they canceled it. And they didn't cancel it because they're getting too many offers. They canceled it because they weren't getting any action. Mm-hmm. Okay. And before that, they were on the market and expired. Let's look at all the other properties around it in that price point. And we look, cancel, withdrawn. And there's only been 2 sales in that price point in the last 12 months. Okay. Both lower. There's only a handful that are for sale, and the days on market are to the moon. So I said to him, let me ask you something. What has happened in our market since that thing was taken off the market that has caused prices to go up? Well, you know, because he knows he's going to have a tough conversation because they're going to want at least the price they were at before. He's like, well, nothing. That's right. Nothing. Yeah, but it was only on the market for, 88 days or something. Okay, like that. So 88 days and it didn't sell. These other ones that are at the same price that were also taken down that didn't sell. Again, what data do we have that says the market is higher than it was there then? To put a higher price on, or even the same price. Mm-hmm. Because here's the thing. We don't need any more listings that aren't going to sell. We have plenty of those. I'm sitting on the inventory. I'll have 70 probably by the end of the day. 70 listings. Okay. What you need are listings that are going to sell. So I'll just give you the numbers. The price on that thing was, I think, 3.2. He told the owner 3. All right. They bought it for significantly more than that. They're losing money by the hour on this thing. So 3. And even then, I'm like, oh, good luck on that. Probably should have been 2.8. Right. But, it's hard. So yeah, we'll see. The guy's talking to his partner.
And you only lose money if you sell it. But
no, that's not true because you have HOA fees, you got taxes, insurance, maintenance. Yeah.
If it's a rental property, if it's an investment property,
if it's a rental property that's covering itself.
Correct.
Yeah. There's plenty of opportunity to lose. Right.
Yeah. That's fair.
Yeah.
If it's not covering itself.
Right. But my point is to my listing agent, we don't need a listing. No, we need a listing that's going to sell. We don't get paid to list properties. I don't know. Maybe you guys do. I don't. We get paid to sell them. All right. We're not magicians. We're not hypnotists. We're not anything. So if you're going to get a skill, if you're going to work on a skill, I would tell you work on your pricing skill to understand. And we talked about this before, understand what the current rate is, understand if the market's going up or going down, and understand how, you can't predict how long anything's going to take, but you can predict probably within 30, 60 days pretty confidently. I walked away from 2 listings last week And you can say I'm stupid. I know. I'm going to get bombarded with, I took this overpriced listing and we sold it. Good for you. Good for you. That's really impressive. Every lottery winner in the world is doing that, right? If winning the lottery is your financial plan, not a good one. Not a good one, right? But I understand it happens. I get it. I get it. What I want to be hearing is, yeah, I had a very in-depth conversation with the owner about their hopes, dreams, and goals for the property. And I discovered that their hopes, dreams, and goals for the property are in alignment with today's reality, today's market. And therefore, my skills, expertise, experience, and knowledge can be levered in a way that will achieve a sale and not require luck. Now, we always want some luck, and luck's a good part of everything. But if you're depending on luck, well, good luck. You know what I mean? So what you're going to want to do, you know, I can say this because I'm holding 67 listings, right? So I got some horses in the stable. And I think of the 67, before this morning, I thought probably a quarter of them are probably pretty good. A lot of them are just, you know, we got them. We're getting price reductions left and right. But now this morning, if you got the right property at the right price, it's going to sell. Pure and simple. It does not take 90, 100. Well, normal market is what? 120 to 180 days. Okay. That's a normal market. But be ready. Be ready. And I talked to another agent this morning and I told her, be prepared to walk away. If they don't price it, because she was trying to, well, should it be at this? Should it be at that? And, you know, they're going to want, blah, 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 blah. Hey, what they want is all right. So let's talk about this for a minute. What they want, let's talk about what they want. What they want and what they need might not be the same thing. Okay. You go to the doctor, you're sick, you go to the doctor, you want them to say, you're going to be fine, 20 minutes, take this pill, you'll be fine, right? That's what you want. But what if that's not the case? What if you need to go in for surgery and have something done? That's what you need. I wonder if the equation here isn't the same thing. Now, there's people that would like to sell. If I can get my price, I'll sell all day long. Okay, got it. And I don't have to sell, I'm fine. But if I get this price, I'll sell. Okay, that's one group. Then there's another group, I'd like to sell. Okay, I'd like to, you know, for reasons, I'd like to sell. I'd like to get a high price, but I'd like to sell. And then there's people that have to sell. Get me out, right? I think right now you want to spend your time with the get me out people. I think the market is such that you need to sift through if I get my property, everybody will sell if you get the right price, right? But spend your time. This is what I told her. Spend your time with the people that got to sell, because those are the people you can help.
Don't you think that one of the roadblocks to that is that people are afraid to have those direct conversations?
100%. This is a skill. So now I have not been in the dating world for a minute. All right. But it seems like if I go back in the world, as soon as you get engaged, all of a sudden it's easier to get a date. You know, not that you're going on it, but people want what they can't have, type of thing. Does that make sense? Or as soon as you can lose the ability to walk away, you lose all your leverage, right? But if you have the ability to sit across from somebody and tell them the truth and back it up with data, experience, knowledge, expertise, skill, all that stuff, and then they say, well, I want to put it at this price. And if you don't have the ability to say, you know what, that's terrific, I appreciate what you want, I'm not your person for that. I can't help you with that. I'm here to tell you where the market is. And if, you know, that's what I got for you. And then, so I'll see you later. Wait, come back. Am I the only one that feels this way? Yeah. Am I the only one that, as soon as you say, fine, I'm out, people all of a sudden, well, wait a minute, hold on, come back. Am I the only one that sees that?
Yes, you're right.
I'm the only one, or other people do that?
No, you're right that a lot of people won't say it, but the truth of the matter is if a good salesperson is willing to tell them the truth and pull stuff off the table and say, I'm not the right person for you.
You go for it. I wish you all the luck in the world.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of it goes into
you
having
don't want
that.
it. What's that?
I think a lot of it goes into having a pre-conversation even before you go to the listing appointment and set your intentions there. You ask them, what are you expecting to get? That way you have an idea of what they're thinking.
Yeah,
Then you ask
100%.
them, how much do you owe? You can do a net sheet and show them all the numbers, show them the data. So that way they can see, okay, she's done her
100%.
homework. She knows. And then they know this is the intention. If you're wanting to sell your property, then this is where we need to start. And I think doing that in that pre-conversation sets the tone for how you are going to come in and kind of manage that conversation.
100%. Absolutely, every single time. Here's the thing, though. We all have had this too. Somebody lists a property at a crazy ass high price, and then either it sells, or when it does sell, they say they list at $2 million and they take $1.2 million.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what? Right? There's always that. That's the lottery winner. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's also the person who has a $500,000 listing that listed at $650, and you're the one running around trying to explain the $650, and it's overpriced. They know the whole world knows it's overpriced, and it sits. I mean, that's our market right now. Is that somebody else's market? Julie, are yours moving?
If they're priced right.
Wow.
So if they're priced right, we're still getting multiple offers, but most of the properties are sitting. And the situation is that realtors have not learned how to price properties, and they've not learned how to have the conversation. We've talked about
It's
how
hard.
a third of the agents, and I think this is a nationwide thing. I know this is for sure here in Phoenix Metro because I track this, but a third of agents rotate in and rotate out every single year. We have 85% turnover every 3 years. There's 15% that hang in there and stay. So what has happened is we've had a seller's market since 2015 till March of 2022. And then we have just falling, and people who are all new to this business not knowing what to do. They're used to putting a price tag on something and getting multiple offers, and they have no idea where it should be. They just pick the highest price in the community, and it sells with multiple offers, and they're like, woo, I'm so great.
Mm-hmm.
No, you're just so lucky because it's a seller's market. So now we're in a market where you have to know not only how to price it, but how to have the conversations on the front end, prior to the listing, at the listing appointment, and every week on Monday morning.
Yeah, and during the listing period.
When you talk to the seller and you say, this is what we've experienced this past week, and this is what we need to do going forward. Is this still your goal?
You're saying that there's more than just clicking an RPR, a CMA button, and spitting out a price and saying that's what we're going to list it for?
Yeah. And that's what most agents do. I'd be surprised if most agents even do that.
Yeah.
That's my experience is watching.
They'll take any listing at any price, and dear Lord, I hope this one works.
Well, and I think what I've run into several times is with us being military, having those bases, we've got a lot of VA buyers that bought during the COVID times. And so they didn't put anything down. Now they're PCSing out and need to sell, and they're upside down, and so it's take this listing. And then I see agents are, jeopardizing their commissions just to take the listing so that they can come out even. That doesn't work.
Doesn't work. It's a bad business model.
Yes, it is.
Gary Keller developed an inventory called the Keller Personality Assessment. And one of the things that I find interesting is when it comes to listing agents, it looks at a scale of independent to accommodating. It's a scale, how accommodating you are, how independent. And it shows on that inventory where great listing agents fall. And guess what? It's not accommodating. It's the independent. I'm going to tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. And you've got to be willing to tell people what they need to hear, not what they want to hear. Now, step on toes.
I don't think most people fall in that category. Just naturally.
You're right. But the ones that are great have the confidence and the personality to say, if they walk in and they smell cat pee, they're going to say, if I can smell it, I can't sell it. We need to do something about this smell. They speak to condition and price directly because they know they've got to sell it, and they're not worried about hurting feelings.
So let's talk about for a minute. When you're with somebody, a seller, all right, we're talking sellers right now because being buyers a little different. But if you're with a seller and they want a price, and it's either because they want it because their ego wants it, or they want it because they need it. Like Destiny was saying, they bought at 800. They got to get 800 and plus the closing costs and everything, or else they're bringing money to the table that maybe they have or don't.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a couple of reasons why. So you're gonna have to get curious about why you want the number you want. I love it. All right. This is being good at your job, asking questions. If you're selling, why are you selling? Where are you going? If you were to go, where are you going next? All that stuff. Right. And do you have a mortgage? Where are you at on that? All these questions. And then these are all the pieces to this puzzle. And then you can say, okay, well, here's my role in this. It's to tell you where the market is right now. Okay. I'm good at that. I study this every day. I can tell you what properties like yours are selling for, generally speaking. And I can even give you a pretty good understanding of where the market's headed in the next probably 30 to 90 days. Outside of that, it gets pretty murky. But what I can tell you right now is the property that you own is here's 3 or 4 that are listed for sale at below or equal price. How do you compare? Right? Are you the same, better, or not as good? Because if a buyer shows up and if one buyer shows up and there's 4 dance partners, 3 of them ain't dancing. Right? And if you want to dance, you're going to have to be better. And the buyer's going to have their choice. And so if you're not willing to get in there and fight for it, you're going to be in trouble. And the first thing that tells a buyer you're not willing is a price.
So here's the thing that's going on. You know, coming back to the fact that we have such high turnover, what happens in any market, whether it's a seller's market, buyer's market, balanced market, is because the majority of the agents don't have the experience of understanding what type of market they're in and how to handle it. They wait to hear what's happening in the market from other agents and from, you know, podcasts and things like this. And then they try to adjust accordingly, but not based on actual knowledge of studying and understanding. And right now we're still in this mindset where a lot of agents are taking listings and they are not recognizing the fact that you can't just put a price tag on it and get a paycheck. And so they're having to learn the hard way. And so you might be representing the buyer, you might be representing the seller. You go in with the buyer and you say to a listing agent, you know, you're overpriced by this, and this is what my client's willing to pay. And you get an inexperienced listing agent who's had 3 closings in their life, and they counter back at full price and they counter the commission to 0. And they think that you're going to take it because the 3 closings that they've had prior to this were prior to March 2022 or somewhere in there where that's what you could do. And then they sit on the market for, you know, several months, and all of a sudden you see it sell down the road for less than what you offered them, you know. And so it's taking listing agents, especially, learning that right now buyers are in control and they have to get spanked a couple of times before they are able to recognize, or the seller might say, hey, we need to get this sold. You blew the last one by telling us not to take it. Now we have to take this one for less because now we have no more time. So that's kind of what's going on. And you have to get educated about your exact market and the pricing in your market if you want to get listings that are going to sell and get paid.
You know what this reminds me of? Girl Scout cookies, right? We're in Girl Scout cookie time. And have you ever been, I think this is even in TV shows, maybe Modern Family or something, I can't remember one, where the girl sets up in the mom. It's always the mom behind the girl, right? Setting up her Girl Scout cookies at the Walmart or wherever, right? Crushing it. And then another girl shows up across at the other door, and all of a sudden it's a fight.
Come on.
Yeah, that's what it reminds me of now. And we all got these Girl Scout cookies. We're all selling the same damn Thin Mints. And
I could eat some of those.
Yeah, they're all the same, right? And it's who's going to get in there and who's going to offer more or whatever. Are you guys feeling that at all?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, and I think
so. You got to get good at selling those Girl Scout cookies because they ain't going to sell themselves, especially if Susie's across the aisle over there with hers. And hers still out by me in boxes with multiple colors. So yeah, I don't know. Here's what I'm telling you guys. Get really good at pricing. Now, keep in mind, there are times when you can take an overpriced listing if it's going to be placed in a place that you can lever it for advertising or marketing or something, right?
That's the exception.
Yeah, those are the exceptions. Don't build a business on exceptions because you'll be out of business exceptionally fast. But figure out the confidence. This is a skill and it comes with confidence to go in, understand the market. And then here, I would ask, what are you seeing? You lay out your argument. Yeah, all right, 300 grand. Yeah, okay, I want to list at 375. Okay, I like it. What are you seeing that I'm not? Well,
and that's a great point, John. One of the things that I always do, kind of coming back to what Destiny said right at the beginning, when I have my very first phone call with a seller before I get to their property, one of the first things I say to them is, what do you think your home will sell for? Mm-hmm. And you'll very frequently get the answer, well, that's your job. You should tell me.
You're the pro.
Absolutely. But as you know, because it's the first conversation, and that's why you need to have it as the very first conversation, I have not yet done my research. Mm-hmm. And we know that there are consumer websites out there, Zillow, Redfin, Realtor.com. And you're out when you're ready to sell your house, your antenna goes up. So you've been looking around, you see what your neighbors are doing. Based on what you're seeing in your neighborhood, what do you think your home is going to sell for? That is a vital piece of information, because in addition to getting what they think their home's going to sell for, then you can also, have a little conversation about what's happening in the market. But you might not, that conversation is going to be long or short based on how close they are to reality. Mm-hmm. So when you do your comps and you know what they're looking for, what they're expecting, now you know how to position yourself to get them in line with reality, because they've told you what they expect.
But keep in mind, everybody's house is like the mom with their baby. Look at how pretty my baby is.
Mm-hmm. And you're like, that looks like Sasquatch.
I'm not seeing it, but yeah.
But I think that's the willingness to ask the question in advance, so am I going to have a fierce conversation or a reinforcing conversation? Because there are times I'm amazed at how many don't ask that simple question. What do you think your home will sell for? And they'll go, look, I'm going to do my own research. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so absolutely. I just want to know where your mind is. Mm-hmm. So you know what you're going into. If we're not asking those questions, and we can ask those questions in the pre-listing appointment, it's like going in with the key to the test already.
100%.
And then following that question up with what has changed since you bought this home, and that tells them I've made upgrades, or, hey, there's holes in the walls, the carpet's been ripped up, and that lets you know what to expect when you show up.
And I do that exact same thing, Destiny. I'll ask them before I go, and then you get there and you go, it has all new this, that, the other, blah, 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 blah. And you go, all new.
It was new when I bought it.
2008, they have an outdated style because they called it all new. And it's like, no, this is no. But then you have an idea of what they think, and you adjust setting their reality based on what they think.
Mm-hmm. All right. So let's just wrap it up. Destiny, final words?
Ask lots of questions before you even show up to the listing appointment. I think that's vital.
Yeah, love it. Mark?
Hey, pricing cures everything. So make sure that you tune in tomorrow to learn how to properly price, because a properly priced property, say that fast, will sell.
Right. Yeah. So that's what we're going to do tomorrow. We're actually going to use formulas and strategies on how to price property and how to have the difficult conversations during the listing appointment and every Monday morning after you list. So that's what we're doing tomorrow on Workshop Wednesday, is pricing a property.
Love it. So a couple of real quick things. If you feel the little spidey senses are going off in your mind that, I wonder if we're overpriced, you are. Mm-hmm. You are, by a lot. Okay. Just know that. That's your survival instinct screaming at you. Don't do it or go lower, right? Don't try it. Let's just try it. And if you are going to just try it, squeeze the time you're trying it. We're just going to try it for 8 months. Okay. Awesome.
Mm.
It's gonna cost you a lot of
Here's
money.
the other thing. You get paid to sell real estate. You don't get paid to list it. All right. Don't get caught up in the listing. Get caught up in the sale. And you need to fight with everything you have right now to get a sale, not a listing. It's getting easier and easier. More and more people are listing. We're seeing inventory go up, which means it's getting easier to get listings. And that's cool. But if you don't get listings that are going to sell, because here's the other side of it, there aren't more buyers. I don't know. If you guys are seeing more buyers in the market, you're looking at something I'm not seeing. So you got more listings, the same or fewer buyers, price reductions everywhere. You're not going to get paid if you take a listing that's not right. All right. So join us tomorrow. We're going to talk about how to, not that you have to be, today we talk about how to be aware. Tomorrow we're going to talk about how to. All right. Let's do it. See y'all tomorrow.
See
Have a
ya.
great day, everybody.